Disclaimer, this podcast is just for video game music appreciation. I don't own any of the music. I'm not trying to make money off of this. It's just for fun for the most part and just to put video game music out there. With that said, enjoy the show. Yeah. Welcome to episode 3 of Chaz's Sound Test. I apologize for the kind of extended lapse in podcast. Life has been happening. A lot of people been getting married. There's been conventions going on. I've been kind of all over the place. And I plan to have a more consistent schedule for this show in the next week or so. I'm planning on doing, for the people who follow the channel, I kind of do it this... I'm going to try to do this bi-weekly. So, I'll have a Let's Play or a stream next week, next Sunday. Then the following Sunday, there'll be another podcast episode, and then so on and so forth. So I'm just going to kind of rotate with that. So today's the 9th. I'm dating the video already. This is July the 9th. Then the 16th will be a stream, a LP stream. The 23rd will be another sound test episode. Then the 30th will be another stream, and so on and so forth like that. You get it. Today, on the playlist, I'm going to do something that a lot of people have been wanting me to do. Because there'll be some people who complain, not necessarily complain, but comment like, hey, you play a lot of Capcom music on this show, and you play a lot of Nintendo stuff, but where's the Sega music? I want some Sonic in here. I'm not biased towards Nintendo or Capcom. I had both a Super Nintendo and a Genesis growing up. Granted, I guess I am a little bit biased towards the Super Nintendo because I played it a lot more. I definitely had a Genesis for Sonic and for Streets of Rage and Shinobi and maybe a couple other games. But during that era, I was definitely a Super Nintendo kid, so I kind of redact what I just said. But I have played a lot of Sega games, and I do like a lot of Sega's music. So today is going to be, for the most part, a Sega-centric episode. We can't really talk about Sega music without talking about Yuzo Koshiro. I was about to mispronounce his name. That's terrible. Yuzo Koshiro is kind of a legend in the game composing world. He's done a lot, specifically for Sega. A lot of people know him for his work on Shinobi and Streets of Rage. He's done a lot of other stuff too. I know he's contributed a lot of songs for Smash Brothers Brawl and Smash 4, but he's done countless other soundtracks for games. But today, right now, I'm gonna play a few of my favorites of his, specifically from Shinobi and Streets of Rage. We're gonna start off with 2 songs from Revenge of Shinobi. I know I had a hard time choosing whether I wanted Revenge of Shinobi or Shinobi 3 because they both have fantastic soundtracks, but I'm gonna go with Revenge of Shinobi because I kind of like that a little bit more, just a smidge more. And then following that, we're gonna have a couple of Streets of Rage 2 soundtracks, title tracks. Sorry. And it's kind of hard to argue that because I don't think I'm alone when I say that Streets of Rage 2 is probably the best of that trilogy. Like, 1, to me, I'm gonna probably catch heat for this, but I don't think 1 aged very well. 3's alright, but 2 is just perfect. 2 is the best by far. But here's the list right now. We're gonna play the title track called "The Shinobi" from Revenge of Shinobi. Then Ninja Step, which is my personal favorite from that OST. Followed by probably the 2 most iconic Streets of Rage 2 songs, which are Go Straight and Dreamer. So, just a quad stack of Yuzo Koshiro music right here, right now. Yuzo Koshiro, man, just the best, just great. I'm thinking about, I think, not next week, probably not in the next few weeks, but like eventually, I'm gonna have an all Yuzo Koshiro episode because like I just only played a couple of Shinobi tracks and I played a couple of Streets of Rage 2 tracks, but there's like countless more I could have played, honestly. But trying to keep it short, so but like that's I want everybody to keep me up to that. Make me promise that. I'm gonna have a Yuzo Koshiro episode of the sound test. It's just gonna be like probably like 20 of his best tracks. Maybe not 20, but maybe like 10 or 15. But I'm definitely gonna do that. But let's keep the Sega train going and switch focus over to Sonic, because you know what's gonna happen eventually. August 15th is a very big day for Sonic fans, especially ones who just wanted a legitimate 2D Sonic game for the past, I don't know, 10, 15 years, might be even longer than that, but Sonic Mania is finally happening, which is probably, I'm calling it the real Sonic 4, because that's basically what it is. Like, they got Christian Whitehead, who was the guy who made the Sonic CD port for the PS3 and 360 in 2011, which is a really good port. Granted, I'm not the biggest Sonic CD fan, but like the port is legit. It's really solid. I suggest checking that out if you still can. I don't know if it's still online. It might not be, but if it is, I'm pretty sure it's on Steam too. But if you can find it, definitely get it. It's worth it. Definitely worth it. And what makes this release for Sonic Mania so really cool is that they got a guy who's been composing Sonic fan music for like probably like at least a decade. T. Lopes. I used to call his last name Lopez, but it's definitely Lopes. T. Lopes. They actually got him on board with Sega to compose music for the game, and we've already gotten a couple of his sample tracks for original stages. Specifically, the ones they might have released more, but the ones I know about mostly, are Studiopolis. I've been mispronouncing it as Studiopolis this whole time. It's Studiopolis, which is kind of like a night city TV production like type of thing. It's kind of hard to describe without actually seeing it. And Mirage Saloon, which is a really cool like desert stage. Like they're both really well done. And the internet's probably been going back and forth about which song is the better song. In fact, a friend of mine, he and I went back and forth about which song is the better song. They're both great, but I'm a little partial to Studiopolis. I like the way that song sounds a little bit more. But Mirage Saloon is really good too. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play both tracks by T. Lopes for Sonic Mania. Studiopolis first, because I'm biased. And then Mirage Saloon after that. I want you guys to decide which one you think is the better track. Like I said, I've already taken my stance, but I want to hear your opinion. So I'm going to play Studiopolis first from Sonic Mania, and then following that is Mirage Saloon from the same game. Coming out August 15th. I'm not being paid by Sega, I swear. Oh man, they're both really, really good. It's really hard to choose, but like I said, Studiopolis just kind of clinches it past Mirage Saloon for me. But that song's still good though. Don't get me wrong. They're both awesome, but it's just Studiopolis just a little bit more awesome, just by a smidge, just a little bit. Man, that game is supposed to have the most stages of any 2D Sonic game ever, and I am so freaking excited. Like, you have no idea. Like, Sonic Forces is okay. It's great. I'm gonna have my fanfic character from 5th grade in a video game for realsies. That's great. But Sonic Mania is where it's at right now. That's what I'm waiting for, personally. I want that to be out, like, tomorrow. Anyway, I promise to play some actual Sonic game music. Not to say that I haven't played Sonic music already, but previously in the past couple episodes, I've only been playing fan music, which is kind of a little lame. But like those Sonic fan games I mentioned before are great. But now we're gonna switch focus again to a franchise I haven't played in a while, but I'm still really a fan of it. Is PSO, or Phantasy Star Online for those not in the know. It is the only MMO that I like. Literally the only one. Granted, I've only played the actual online version of the game for maybe a month. The Blueburst server, I only was on it for about a month. The most of my exposure to that game was the GameCube port of episodes 1 and 2. I played a lot of it, a whole lot of it, with a couple of my friends back in high school. I think we literally spent an entire day playing it once. Like, we didn't sleep. We just kept leveling up our human force, which is the magic users, and the ranger characters, which is the robots that have guns. We just played it for hours and hours on end. And one of the major takeaways is I love the universe of PSO. Just like the whole Pioneer 2 futuristic metropolis was awesome. It reminded me a lot of Blade Runner. But then again, I realized that a lot of futuristic fiction that came out in the 90s and early 2000s took a lot of inspiration from Blade Runner. It was great. But one of the main takeaways, other than that, was the music. The music is fantastic. And I mentioned this, I made a reference to PSO about a couple episodes ago, like probably the first episode, was when this is the first game that I noticed that when you're in just the main overworld, they'll have one rendition of the song, and then when you get into a battle, it has a more faster paced, more high stakes version of the same song. And I think that is awesome. Like, I've never heard any other game do that before. So, and I love it. It's just it's amazing. I've been saying the word amazing a lot. I apologize. I'm going to play 2 tracks. Also, this game is composed by Sonic Team, the same guys who do a lot of the 3Ds and early Sonic games. I'm going to play my favorite couple of tracks from PSO episodes 1/2. Specifically, the Abysmal Ball, the Intermission version, which is the overworld version, and the Banquet, which is the actual battle version. They're both great. They're both fantastic. I'm going to play them both. I'm going to stop using the word fantastic. At least I'll try to stop. Abysmal Ball, both versions. Let's go. Man, PSO. Just great music all around. Alright. I lied in my title of this episode because that was the last Sega-centric song I was going to play for this episode. I was originally going to have more, but there's some other stuff that I promised from previous episodes that I was going to play. And I kind of want to do that now. In the future, I'll have a completely Sega-focused episode. But now, I'm going to move on to... I'm going to have a RPG segment really quick. Specifically a JRPG segment. First, I'm going to talk about Star Ocean. It's been around for a long time. Would I say it's one of my favorite JRPG franchises? Probably not. Even though I have 4 out of the 5 games that came out for it. The composer of those games is Motoi Sakuraba, who also composes the music for the Tales series, which I would say is one of my favorite JRPG soundtracks. I mean, like, franchises, sorry. I played a lot of 2, 3, and 4, and 5. I beat 5. Of Star Ocean. I would probably say that 2 is still definitively the best one. But I think 3, which is probably one of my least favorite ones, it stands out for having a really good soundtrack, though. And I'm probably going to play my 2 favorite tracks from Star Ocean 3. The first is Rust Color, which is a in-town song, but it's kind of a rustic, really calm, really slow song. And it's just kind of like the soundtrack for a really industrial, rundown, like, I don't want to say apocalyptic, but kind of just like a beat down city. It's not in very good shape. And the next track is called Expiration, which is kind of like, I think that might have been a misspelling from somebody, whoever named it. I think it's supposed to be Exploration, but it's definitely Expiration from the track list I got. So, and that's just kind of one of the overworld songs that I really like, and has just a mean, awesome guitar in it. But those are probably my 2 favorite songs from that game. And I hear them the most because I've spent like maybe 120 something hours playing that game, only for my data to be erased because my memory card got corrupted. So I'm never going to play that game again. Bad times. But these songs are good times. I'm going to play them both. First is Rust Color, followed by Expiration, both from Star Ocean 3. Yeah. Can we have a moment of silence for that guitar that got destroyed in that song? No, I'm kidding. But man, that is a great... I love that song. Just, it's the best. One thing that's consistent about Star Ocean is it has good music, but like, it will never top 3. 3 had the best music, even though the storyline was kind of generic and had a terrible ending, and the characters are kind of milquetoast, bland baby faces, and they all look like dolls. But that music is probably the most redeeming quality of that game, for sure, by all means. Now I'm gonna go to another JRPG, a more popular, more topical one, Persona 5. I've been teasing Persona 5 music since the first episode, because I played Persona 3 music 2 episodes ago. I played for P4 music last episode about a month ago, and now finally we're here. It's time to play Persona 5 music. I'm sorry if you haven't beaten the game yet. It's been out for a couple months now. I know it's long. I know it's probably about a good 120 hour game. I spent 170 hours playing the game because I wanted to get my social links up so I could pull my waifu. That sounds terrible saying out loud. But anyway, we're going to start with the main battle track that's everyone's probably heard without even playing the game. It's been in plenty of memes already. By the late great Shoji Meguro, the name of the battle theme, Last Surprise. It's a great battle theme. It's kind of getting beaten into the ground by memes, like I said before. But the next song, Beneath the Mask, which is kind of like one of the... I don't want to use the term overworld in a game like Persona, but I guess that's kind of what it is. It's the music when your character, your avatar, is in their room where they're staying. You're kind of chilling. You're watching stuff. You're building your social links. You're taking naps. You're doing all that good stuff. And the third song, When My Mother Was There, is more of a character-specific song. It's because like each character has a dungeon that they have to clear. I'm trying to explain this the best I can. But like each character has their own dungeon. And the character Futaba, who's kind of the girl with the glasses, you've probably seen her in a bunch of key art if you haven't played the game. And you have to clear her dungeon. And it has this really jazzy soundtrack, and you're in a Egyptian-inspired like pyramid dungeon. It reminds me a lot of Death Chamber from Sonic Adventure 2. That's a very weird comparison, but it reminds me a lot of that. That song is really good. It's probably my favorite dungeon song of all the songs in the game. But I'm going to play 3 songs from Persona 5, because like I said, I've been building up to this for a while. So, Last Surprise was the battle song first. Beneath the Mask, which is very chill, laid-back, jazzy, overworld song. Then finally, When My Mother Was There, which is like the 4th or 5th dungeon. I'm not sure anymore. It's been a while. I played that game for 170 hours. Didn't get a lot of sleep. I'd probably say it's my game of the year. Yes. I'm going to play those 3 songs. Shoji Meguro is amazing. Let's go.
Don't you know what you're starting? But you sure we got that clue? How bad this we go? Don't you know? No more art. And as you look to the horizon, not a cloud, but then stormy weather's go too cold. Seems like it crept up out of nowhere, all around you. It's not what you foretold. You never see it coming. You see that my mind is too fast for eyes. You're done but the time is hit you, you're not surprised. Think you got your game planned out. Do it deep, get 'em 2 steps ahead, yeah. So, step into my way, stand out. It's a trap, one more step, and you're dead. Why just because chasing twilight on and on, without a clue, without a sign, without grasping it. The real question to be asked: where have I been? I'm a sharpshooter at Booth's masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a sharpshooter. What else should I be? Please don't take off my mask, revealing dark. Moments of calm, nothing left to be found. A mirror right in front of me, that's where I find an empty glass, reflecting that's a truth. It's telling words not to be told. I need that mask. I'm a sharpshooter at Booth's masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a sharpshooter, chained down to my core. Please don't take off my mask, my place to hide. I can't tell you how to see me. Just a cage of bones, there's nothing inside. Will it unleash me, burning down the walls? Is there a way for me to break? I'm a sharpshooter at Paul's masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a sharpshooter
Can we talk about the previous song that was just playing, and how, I don't know why, for me, I was talking about this before the song played, but it reminds me of Sonic Adventure 2's Death Chamber. It's really weird. It's just like this kind of consistent thing about pyramids and jazz music playing in them. It's a weird, consistent thing, and it's like, I like that song, and I like the song that just played too, and it's just, you even look at the stage, it looks like Death Chamber. It's weird. It's probably just me. But let's move on to another subject. Let's talk about X-Men games. I've noticed two things that are constantly consistent about X-Men games. A, they're hard. They're like stupid difficult. B, they have really weird music in them. Especially like a lot of the earlier ones, like from the NES, SNES, and Genesis era. A lot of those X-Men games just have really just bizarre music in them. And I have two examples. One's not really that weird. It just doesn't seem, it seems out of place for an X-Men game. And the other one is just really weird. Let's get on to those two. The first one is the title music from X-Men 2 Clone Wars. My brothers bought this game when it came out back in, like, what was it, 94 or 5? 95. And the title screen is this, it has this, like, really heavy, dirty bass, like, synth pop thing. It's really bizarre. And, like, the history of the song is really weird, too, because it's, like, the composer of that game is a guy named Kurt Harland, who originally was a chemist, and he got into music just randomly, and he just kind of, like, stuck with music ever since then. But he went from science to D&B music for a Genesis X-Men game. That's a very strange timeline. And the second game is Wolverine's Adamantium Rage. I don't know if that's the full title or whatever, but specifically the SNES version, because both the SNES and Genesis had two different versions of the soundtrack. They both have their own individual soundtracks. The Genesis one is kind of what you'd expect from a Wolverine game. It's just a lot of, like, metal, dark, like, gritty music, as you'd expect. The Super Nintendo version went for house music, like 90s house music. It's really weird. It sounds like the first stage is the stage I'm going to play for the second track. It sounds like a Missy song. It's just like, it sounds like a Missy Elliott song. It's really weird. It's really bizarre. Everything involving X-Men video games from the 16-bit era is just weird. All of it's strange, but it's great. It's weird, though. Let's start with that now. These are the last two tracks of the night. It's the title screen from X-Men 2 Clone Wars, and then the first level of the Wolverine Adamantium Rage game for Super Nintendo specifically. Really weird.
Wolverine. 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 Wolverine.
It's so stupid. That song is bizarre and it's dumb, but I love it. I love every second of it. It is great. You can only get that on the Super Nintendo version. The Genesis version is just exactly what it sounds like. But that Super Nintendo version is just like, it is just off the walls. It was like, what was that? It's great. Oh man. That's the end of the show for tonight, guys. That's a wrap. So next week is another Let's Play stream. The Weekend Whatever stream will be back here next Sunday, playing the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy and Jackie Chan Stunt Master for PlayStation 1. Ugh. You can catch me, as always, on Facebook at facebook.com/otakugamerspot /otakugamerspot, sorry. The twitter.com/chazmosis410, that's CHAZMOSIS410. You can catch me at the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/CJBlogman, CJBLOGMAN. The main site, which is otakugamerspot.com, OTAKUGAMERSPOT.com. And the song I'm going to close out with tonight is from a buddy of mine, Joan. He's a rapper from Atlanta. And I don't even want to categorize him as just a rapper. He sings. He's very intelligent. He's very nerdy. That's why I'm playing his music at the end of the show. You can check his music out at iamjoin.com. That's iamjowin.com. He's great. The song I'm going to play is called EXP. I'll see you guys next week for another Let's Play stream. And I'll see you in the following week for Sound Test Episode 4, which I haven't determined what song I'm going to play yet. But you'll see when it comes around. Peace. Love you guys. I'm out of here.
Relationship with this music and the school shiz and the older cool kids. I guess I'm multidimensional with my coolness. What am I doing? No labels, just FTWN. So no pulling out and no losing is allowed. Enemies in the shroud. I provide fog lamp for them to stay on track. She drips like hot wax when I'm in contact. I'm high off my lifestyle. She's high from contact. Is that the reason you choke when you in front of me? I'm grinding and hustling, y'all out here doing other things. I came from wondering why peers will make fun of me to running things. Life is a dog, but ain't she lovely? I'm sick, y'all admit it. Whenever I'm on stage, I make them yell, oh, like the skin on the Simpsons style. I exhibit, catch me peace sign, flipping over at your next convention, cosplay, girl pimping. Lyrically, you could never be equivalent. I am a gem, you're just a gem with an ick at the end of it. The gift that keeps giving, yo, you're welcome, don't mention it. Got you blistering, got you interested, got you listening. Got you in again, it's oxymoronic how my flow is where the ceiling is. Well, man, it's not an island, I'm alone on Gilligan. My battles and my victories, they come with experience.
There is one way you might win. Oh? I'm sorry. I overheard your conversation, and I just thought that maybe... How can we win? A while ago, I just happened to come across this.
We'll never be the same.
To make it evolve just to fight, I would be just like Surge. What do you want to do? But I also don't want to force you to evolve if you'd be happier staying the way you are now.